Mandalorian show looks fantastic.
The Mandalorian, all of their original content, of which they're going to be coming up with a ton of stuff. You know, they're doing the Captain America,
Falcon,
Falcon
Oh,
show.
the Falcon,
they're doing the Loki show.
Yeah.
So you know, there's going to be a ton of that. They National Geographic is part of it.
Wow.
And over time, they'll be able to expand their library to include things. Eventually, I think all the Indiana Jones movies will get there too. Once they're done with like the Netflix thing,
Really?
That's a kind of a little bit of a weird tangled web that has to be kind of, you know, unwoven. But they're eventually, I think they're going to have control of that too, because Disney already does own the Indiana Jones franchise. So, anyways, the deal was for $140 paid up front, you get Disney Plus for the next 3 years.
That's a good deal.
So 36 months.
That's a year free, isn't it?
Actually, see, if my math is correct. So, okay, so 36 months, right? Times, let's just do $7.99 to keep it exact. That's $287.64. Okay. So subtract 140. That's $147.64. So you saved, I think,
about a year
more than half.
Yeah.
So, and now I don't have to worry about a $7.99 charge on my credit card for the next 3 years. It was like an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah.
It was such a no-brainer.
I heard about it late, and I was like, "Ooh, when I get home, I got to do that."
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, really great deal. Like, I am so excited for Disney Plus. The one thing that I am actually most excited for about Disney Plus is I no longer have to buy any Disney movies.
I know.
The whole library is there.
Yeah.
And
you don't have to worry about them coming and going. They're just going to be there.
No, they're just going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where Netflix is going to go. Like what they're going to do, because they're going to be losing like all the NBC content.
And didn't they actually just increase their rates?
Yes,
Netflix? I think they just increased it.
They're going to lose
That's not a good formula.
They're going to lose all their NBC content.
It's a bold strategy.
NBC's coming out with their own app. So they're losing Friends. They're going to lose all that stuff that was on there. And then you're going to have Disney Plus is going to be pulling all their stuff. I
can see Netflix being dead in a couple of years.
I mean, and they have so much good quality content like Stranger Things, and they keep coming out with good shows.
Right. So I mean, and maybe that's where their bread's going to get buttered, is with their original.
They're going to have to, and they're going to get other things, and they're going to get some of the Disney stuff back. I think it's in a couple years they get a lot of that content back again.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's the contract that they signed.
It's the contract, right?
And I think it's just so that Disney can kind of build up the steam again. But it's also, it gives Disney more money when they do that. They sign a big deal with Netflix and they get more money rolling in. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, Disney Plus looks phenomenal.
It looks unreal.
I can't wait. I mean, when I saw that Mandalorian, that trailer, I was like, holy, that looks good. That looked like movie quality good. I was excited.
Yes, it did.
I was really excited. All right. So.
And that's Jon Favreau, I think, who.
Did he?
I think that's his. Yeah, I think that's his baby.
Yeah, yep. And he's great. I love him. So, all right. So now let's get into this Rotten Tomatoes thing. You wanted to talk about a segment that you wanted to introduce. I thought it was a great idea. So let's. What do you think?
And actually, I think in order for us to properly introduce it, we should use the same two examples that I used with you at the start of the show.
Okay.
Before we actually went live, because I was like, okay, here's the segment I came up with. What do you think? Here's a couple examples of movies.
Yeah.
So the show, the segment we would title is "How Is This?" with an ellipses and a question mark. Mm-hmm. And the basic premise is, if you look at one movie on Rotten Tomatoes and you see its score, you might say, "How is this only blank percent?" Mm-hmm. For like a good movie, or a movie that you and I might think is good. For like a bad movie, we might say, how is this actually so-and-so percent? Right. Now, the two examples that I brought up to you, so we'll give you a couple of examples. We'll walk through them very quickly. And then, we'll go a little bit, more in depth on future shows when we actually dedicate a real segment to it. But the two examples I'm going to give you are how is this only examples. Mm-hmm. So the first one I gave you, because I was like, did you ever see the movie Now You See Me? And you're like, yeah, like I love that movie.
It's a great movie. It's fun.
And I just happened to be looking it up on Rotten Tomatoes over the weekend. And again, this is not audience score. This is critic score. Mm-hmm. Based on 165 reviews. How is this only 50%. Now You See Me is an awesome movie.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. First of all, it's super fast paced. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of twists and turns. The characters are great.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's just a good, fun, entertaining movie.
It really is. How is this only 50%? Now, if you look at the audience score, it's actually 70, which is probably right in line where I would be.
Yeah.
That's right where I'd be. I think if I had
75%, yeah.
I actually probably, if we had been reviewing it at the time when when we were doing this show, I probably would have been in the 7.5 to 8 out of 10. So yeah, kind of more in that wheelhouse. But I'm just reading this and I'm just like, how's this only 50%? and then that's where I was like, oh, I think this would actually work as a title for the segment. Yeah. And then the other one, now here's one where I know you've got an opinion on this, and I do too, very strongly. The movie Seven, about the 7 deadly sins.
Fantastic.
Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman. By the way, coincidentally, both these movies that we're mentioning both featured Morgan Freeman. So Now You See Me had Morgan Freeman, and Seven had Morgan Freeman, and of course, Kevin Spacey, who I know that's a taboo subject these days in Hollywood, but let's be honest. Kevin Spacey is and was an all-time great actor, and this was this role and his role in Usual Suspects are
some of the best. Yeah, he's a phenomenal actor. He was a phenomenal actor.
So I know this is going to sound weird because the tomato meter score for this, based on 74 reviews, is still good. Mm-hmm. But how is this only 81%?
I don't get that. That's my favorite crime thriller of all time.
7 is like a 9. That's a 9 out of 10 film.
Oh,
the audience score...
That's almost a 10 out of 10 for me. That's a 9.5 for me.
The audience score is 95%. So you're talking about a 14 percentage point difference.
Because I love the movie Gone Girl. You did too. I love that. Both directed by David Fincher, but Gone Girl was phenomenal. It was a great movie, and I give that a 9 out of 10.
Girl, and I looked it up, and that's sitting comfortably at 87%.
Yeah. I gave Gone Girl a 9 out of 10, and I think that 7 is an even better film, and I think I give 9.5. 9.5 out of 10 for me. That's almost a 10.
Let me put it to you this way. I love Gone Girl. I don't even have it in the same league as 7. Yeah. 7 is an unbelievable.
Oh, I think they're both phenomenal. They're both just great.
I mean, were the standards for reviewing movies like back in the 90s just different than they are now? No. Like, was it really hard to? How like?
There's a lot more reviewers.
7 is. It's like a nearly perfect movie.
It is.
It really is.
That's why I would give it a 9.5. There's not much that I dislike.
And that's what the audience has it at, 95%.
Makes sense.
So this is a little bit of insight into what this segment will be. Yeah. It's kind of like this. This
is actually it's going to allow to get some anger out and all that stuff. I got one for you.
Sure.
On the other side, how is this movie actually 73%?
Okay.
Iron Man 2.
I would agree. Yeah, no, I don't know, because that is
a train wreck of a movie.
I would actually for me.
293 reviewers, 73%.
I would have. Don't tell me what the audience score is because I'm not looking at it. I would guess 50 at best.
Nope, 72%. People are just so blinded by the MCU.
Yeah, they are. And that was that. And let's be honest. Iron Man 2 is probably the biggest.
It was cool. Because
movie in the MCU, or at least one of them.
It was cool.
I mean, I know you don't like Age of Ultron, but
that's another one. We'll do Ultron real quick, and then we'll move on. All right, so Avengers: Age of Ultron. Again, how is this movie actually 75%?
Yeah, no. Again, I mean
that movie is far worse than Batman vs Superman. Far worse.
See, but you and I both like Batman vs Superman, though.
Because it was a better movie than this.
We're in the minority there.
The audience score has it at 83. They're blinded.
So I would have, for Iron Man 2, I probably would have had that in the 4.5 to 5 range, and for Age of Ultron, I would have had it in the 5 to 5.5 range. Yeah. That's where I would have been with those. That's where I would have been.
And Iron Man 3, I could even see. Like Iron Man 3, I can see how people loved it, and I can see why people dislike it. I personally don't like the movie because I think they handled the Mandarin wrong. But
Yeah.
they have obviously come out and said that they're going to reintroduce the Mandarin. So
I liked that movie. I would see like that one. I would go 6. I don't know. Now I'm willing to bet that that's higher on Rotten Tomatoes. I bet Iron Man 3 is probably. I don't know where it is, but I would at least have gone 6 on Iron Man 3 because I did enjoy that
it's
movie.
high. I think it's in the 90s. Oh no, actually, 79%. Audience score 78%. How is it that close to Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It's just, yeah, right. So there you go. That's a little sample, everyone, of what this segment of How Is This will be like.
We'll come up with a couple of movies from time to time.
I think, like, I bet you, like, probably as we get a little closer to Halloween, which we are creeping up on, baby, and you know how much I love Halloween, we'll do some Halloween movies with it.
Ooh.
You know, maybe we'll do, like, 4 or something like that. You know, like, maybe you do 2, I do 2.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
I might have one right now that I actually liked a lot. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there it is. This has got to be terrible.
Go ahead.
No, I can't say it.
Oh,
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Hold it?
I'll tell you off air. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a movie I love, but just because it was fun.
I was just gonna say you're gonna hold it for Halloween.
Yeah. We'll hold it for Halloween. Absolutely.
All right.
Because it is a whole. I mean, we'll have several movies that we can talk about. We're trying to keep all these segments about 15 to 20 minutes. So that's our goal, to keep everything a little bit around the 20 minutes, so we don't bog down your stuff all day, and you can go back and revisit and check it all out. Comment in the comment section, and
back to your lives.
We will continue to check the comments, and I always, when I see them pop up on my thing, I always show them over to Brian, and then if he says he wants to write anything back, I usually type it in for him, or I'll type in something myself. So yeah, go ahead. Feel free to comment on all these things. Let us know what you had. We talked about the AFC, the NFC predictions today, and we also talked a little bit about Disney Plus and this great thing. This great little, how is this?
How is this show actually over?
Yeah. Well, how do we only have 60 subscribers to YouTube? That's probably about right.
That's
but you can help us out by hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell, and we'll let you know every time we go live, and then you can check it out. So when we talk about all these different things like baseball, football, basketball, golf, we talk wrestling sometimes. We have all these different segments, and we talk about other things. We'll have Mount Rushmore lists and all that kind of stuff, and that will be on the sort side.
Need to do some more Mount Rushmore.
We haven't done one in a while. We should do one. We should do one again soon, and we're going to try and do it all within 20 minutes or less, and then so we'll have 3 segments every episode, every show, and get it in for you, get it done, and have a good day. All right, so if you haven't already, you can hit subscribe here, give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Also, you can visit us on Twitter at Shane and Bryman. You can visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/Shane and the Bryman. Visit me on Twitter at Einhornersfinkel.
You can find me on Twitter, _Bry_man.
And thank you for whoever just hit the like button. Really appreciate it. And also, we'll see you on Friday. And we will have our Super Bowl picks that day. I don't know if we'll do the whole rundown of the playoffs. We might just say who we have in the divisions, and then we'll just pick the Super Bowl pick. Because we don't want it to last all day. We're going to obviously have some football to talk about because there's a game on Thursday, I believe, right?
Correct. We will. Yes.
So we'll have a little football to talk about.
2 days from the NFL.
And that'll probably be our second segment. So we'll get into that, and then we will also be talking something on the sorts side. So if you have anything you want us to talk about sorts-wise, put it in the comments on this show, on this segment right here.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it.
So speaking of Iron Man, we've now reached the end of our show. And of course, in the words of the great Tony Stark, part of the journey is the end. But we will be back on Friday to talk NFL football. How glorious is that?
Yeah, we are out. Thank you guys for listening, watching, however you took this in. I mean, you can only really watch it now. I mean, you can listen to it. I guess shut our faces off on the screen. Peace out. See you Friday. Bye.
Stay classy, Planet Club.